Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom. My name is Anisha, and I am an aligned life coach for women. So, I basically help them live in alignment with what matters most to them so that they can have an authentic and fulfilling life. So, this is a little bit about me, and I would love to know a little bit about you. Like, where are you joining from? Or are you here for the very first time? So, yeah, drop in a hi as Michael has. So Michael says, "Hi Anisha, it's wheel time." Okay, so someone is excited. And usually we do a meditation, but today I was I was not feeling like, guiding a meditation. So it seems like Michael, we are going to directly jump to the wheel. Pab says, "Hi Anisha and all. Hello Pab, welcome." And to give you an overview for those of you who are new here, who are joining for the very first time, we, usually do a meditation of around 15 minutes on the quote that you see when you open Insight Timer. Today, we are not going to do that. We are going to skip that part, but we will do the next part, which is about the wheel that Michael is mentioning. Michael says 11:30 p.m. Sydney, Australia. Okay, it is quite late for you, Michael. So yeah, thank you for spending, that precious night time with all of us. And Michael says, I'm happy to meditate. I love your guided meditations. Oh, thank you so much for letting me know that. I didn't knew. Okay. Hmm. And Pav is also saying, I was hoping for the same, Michael. Hmm. Okay. So let's do this. Um, let's do like a 5-minute meditation today, and then we will jump into the wheel. Okay. So in that way, both of our needs get met. Okay. Michael is happy with the solution. Wonderful. So yeah, before we begin, let me, give you an overview for the ones who are new here. Pav says sounds good. Wonderful. Okay. So, yeah, so once we do the meditation, we are feeling more centered, more grounded. Then we open the wheel of wisdom. That wheel contains the name of transformative books, okay, that I have came across in my own journey of healing, of personal growth. We spin the wheel, the universe, God, divine, source, spirit chooses a book for us. And then we play a game where I ask you guys to choose a number, then I pick a number from all your numbers and we do a reading based on that. Okay. So I will share more about each part when we get to it. But let's start with the meditation, with the first part of this live. So, are you guys ready? It is going to be a very quick meditation. Okay. So, yeah, type ready in the comments once you are settled in a quiet place. Hello, Jennifer. Jennifer says Grand Rising from Chicago. Grateful to be able to meditate with everyone. Oh, I love that, especially since, there is this gratitude challenge going on Inside Timer. So love you, dipping your toes into that um beautiful feeling. And okay, Jennifer is ready. Hello, Caitlin. Welcome. You are just on time. So, okay. So begin by becoming aware of the space around you. So I invite you to gently move your neck, your head, or your eyes to notice the objects around you. And don't do it faster, but instead let your eyes land on an object. And then on the next one, wherever they naturally feel inclined to rest. So, in this way, slowly and gently noticing the objects around you. Notice that you are safe in this space, in this moment of time. Then gently bring your head to center. And now that we have arrived in this space fully, allow yourself to turn inward by gently closing your eyes. And now notice the surface beneath you. So notice the point of contact between your body and the surface beneath you. And as you rest here, bring your awareness to your body, noticing what sensations are present in your body right now. If I were to ask you to give a rating on a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 means your body is filled with energy, like you're feeling restless, or there is a lot of activation within your body, and 0 means that you're feeling low, you're feeling lethargic, and the middle, which is 5, means that you're feeling grounded and centered in your body. Then where would you rate yourself right now? Overly active at 10 or low on energy at 0 or 5, which is calm? And now bring your awareness to your mind, noticing the thoughts or images in your mind. If I were to ask you to rate the state of your mind, then what rating would you give on a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 refers to a lot of overthinking and 0 means a state of blankness or fogginess in your head, and 5 means you're feeling peaceful in your mind. You are able to think clearly and have slow and kind thoughts. So, what rating would you give to your mental state right now? And finally, let's land in our heart. So, becoming aware of your emotional state. So, what emotions are present within you right now? So, again, if we were to give a rating to your emotional state, then are you feeling a lot of anxious or angry emotions, which is 10? Or are you feeling more sadness, which is 0? Or are you feeling calmness and peace or love, which is 5? So, where do you land on the scale in terms of your emotions? Okay, you did great. Now, in case your rating was far away from 5 for all these three states, your physiological, mental, and emotional state, then let's do a small practice so that you feel more regulated. So let's do 4-7-8 breathing to reset your nervous system. So, what we are going to do here is we are going to inhale for the count of 4. Then we are going to hold that breath for the count of 7. And finally, we are going to exhale for the count of 8. So let's begin. Inhale. One, two, three, four. Hold. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Exhale. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Again, inhale. Two, three, four. Hold. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. Exhale. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Inhale. Two, three, four. Hold. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. Exhale. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Great. Now it's okay if it was a little harder for you to match the pace as I was guiding it. You're welcome to repeat this at your own pace, where you inhale for the count of four, hold for the count of seven, and exhale for the count of eight. So I will stay quiet for a few moments so you can practice it on your own. And now I invite you to bring your awareness back to your body and notice if that rating has shifted in any manner, where 10 was restlessness, 0 was lethargy, and 5 was feeling grounded. And now bring your awareness to your mind and notice if that rating has shifted in any manner, where 10 was a lot of racy thoughts, 0 was blankness or fogginess, and 5 was a peaceful mind or clear thoughts. And finally, become aware of your emotions and notice if that rating has changed. So, 10 was anxious or angry emotions, 0 was sad emotions, and 5 was a sense of calm and love or connection. Wonderful. So, whether that rating shifted or it didn't, it's okay. The important thing is that you chose to spend this time to take care of yourself, to meet yourself wherever you were. So, now to end this practice, I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and with the exhale, letting go of this practice, bringing small movement to your body, like wiggling your fingers and your toes. And whenever you feel ready, gently open your eyes. Arriving back in the space. Welcome back. If you guys feel like sharing your experience of the practice, you're welcome to do that in the comments. And if not, then that's all right as well. And I see that a lot of new people have joined us. So, welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode 140. And in case you guys missed the meditation, I will share towards the end of this live where you can find it. Okay. So, now we are going to move on to the next, part of this live, which is our Wheel of Wisdom. And I see a comment here, so I'm going to just read it. But before that, let me tell you a little bit about the wheel so that you can take your time to decide what you need guidance on. Okay. So, my lovely people, the wheel of wisdom that I'm talking about is this. Okay. And this wheel contains the name of 50 books, 50 transformational books that I have came across in my own journey. And now what we are going to do is we are going to spin the wheel, and the universe, God, divine, spirit, source, consciousness, whatever you call it, is going to pick a book for us from this wheel so that each and every one of us receives that message that we most need to hear right now. And so that you receive that message, I first want to invite you guys to set an intention for, the spinning of the wheel. So think about, is there anything that is going on in your life regarding which you would like some guidance? And think about the specific issue, the specific desire, area of your life. And once you have thought of that, let me know in the comments that, you know, ready. You can type ready to let me know so that we can spin the wheel. And if there is nothing specific, you can simply set an intention that may I be open to receiving the guidance for my highest good. Okay. Hello, Eve. Good morning and welcome. You are just in time for the reading, for the first reading. So, yeah, feel free to think about anything that you need guidance on. Thank you, Katie, for sharing what you need guidance on. I hope that whatever comes up help you trust yourself more. Thank you, Pav, for letting me know that you're ready. And until other people write whether they are ready or not, let me go through this comment and see what, Ranjit is saying. Yeah, I'm just reading the comments in case anyone is wondering why I'm so quiet. So yeah, there is a huge comment by Ranjit in another language, which is Hindi. So yeah, I'm reading it and I will try to translate, but it is more of a story. So it would be harder to translate, word by word. But maybe like you guys can copy it and paste it in the Google Translator so it would be easy for you to understand. Yeah, because it is a long story. Or Ranjit, you can do that, you can share it in English so that everyone can understand it. Okay, going back to the other comments. Okay, thank you, Tracy Ann, for letting me know and welcome. Kathleen says rebalancing nervous system. Then, I'm glad that that was the meditation we did something, Um, we touched that aspect in today's meditation. I'm not sure if you were able to catch it or not, but I hope that, and if you weren't able to, I actually, Kathleen, have something for you, which you can check out in case nothing came up from that reading. Okay. Um, yeah, so okay, no issues, Kathleen. Yeah, so you can either watch this, this live when it gets uploaded later on. But if you don't want to go that way, you can also find some practices that I already have regarding, regulating your nervous system. So you can find them here. You can go to my profile, okay? You can scroll all the way down on the home page, and in the playlist section, you will see something like this: nervous system regulation techniques. So you can try them and see which ones work for you. I was actually thinking of updating it, and I have like long tracks here of 20 minutes. So I was thinking of putting like 5 or 7 minutes one. So yeah, you know, yes, I'm going to update this one soon. Okay, you're welcome, Kathleen. Okay, let's see. There are some more comments that I missed. Pav says, my intention is to grounding in presence and trusting the moment and its perfect unfolding. Love that, Pav. And, a lot of like it's coming up around, trusting yourself, trusting life, trusting moment, this moment. So, yeah, a lot of trust. The theme of trust is coming up today. Okay. So, I'm excited what is going to come forward from the books. And I actually I've done like a lot of meditations around this in my previous lives, Pav. So in case you want to check them out. Jennifer says, I'm open to receiving the information from the source. Ready. Wonderful. Love the open energy, Jennifer. Um, okay. Yeah, so Katie is requesting Ranjit to share that in English. So maybe he's translating, maybe not. Yeah, in case you want to, I will like copy it or something and maybe put it in my group because it would take some time to translate it and I don't want to take away that time from anyone else who don't want to go into that story. So yeah, I will just copy it and I will put the translation of Ranjit's comment in English in my group. Okay, it seems like I cannot copy it, but yeah, okay, I will do something about it later on. Yeah, okay. So, Jennifer says, Kathleen, have you seen Willie on Inside Timer on Monday and Wednesday? Her practice shifted me from fight and flight to rest and digest in 8 weeks. Okay, love that. I'm going to check her out or him out. I don't know. Or them out. Yeah, okay. So I will write that name and check that out. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing that with Kathleen and with all of us. Okay, so Willie. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, Kathleen loves your sure as well, Jennifer. Okay. So I'm going to take a sip of water and then we will spin the wheel. Okay, Pav also knows Willie. Okay, then I will have to, I will definitely check Willie out and see. Okay, so now let's jump onto the wheel and receive that, guidance that wants to come through. So, my dear ones, whatever it is that you guys thought of, hold that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came for all of us here is Real World Mindfulness for Beginners. Real World Mindfulness for Beginners by Brenda Selgado. So, let's see what this beautiful book wants to offer us. I'm sure it is going to be a practice. So, definitely, I think we're going to get something regarding nervous system regulation or maybe trusting this moment as well, becoming more present, as someone mentioned here, that as the intention. So, yeah, let's see what wants to come through. Give me a second to open the books, to open the book. And thank you for all the lovely hearts. They definitely encourage me. Okay, so I'm choosing some numbers for us to play a game. Okay, so my lovely people, so the instruction for this game is hello, hi Cosmos, welcome. Um, yeah, so I was saying the instruction for this game that we are going to play is I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, okay? And do not rush. Instead, take a second and see which number are you feeling most called to, and then share that number in the comments. I will go through all your comments and pick a number that my intuition is feeling called to. So, in this way, we will get to tap into that collective wisdom and choose a book that we all are meant to hear from. Okay. So, the number between which I want you guys to choose are 20 to 140. Yeah, Cosmos. Yeah, so you can share a number between 20 to 140. Um, okay. Yeah. um, okay. So Cosmos has shared another number between those. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, V, for sharing a number. Anyone else who would like to share a number, feel free to drop in, one in the comments. Thank you, Pav. Yeah, thank you, Cosmos. Yeah, 40. Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing a number. Thank you, Emilia. Nice to have you here. Okay, anyone else before we pick a number amongst these? Thank you, Caitlin. By the way, Caitlin is another teacher, guys, in case you don't know, and I would recommend checking her out. She's a beautiful, friendly, super friendly soul, and I love her live. So yeah, check her out in case you haven't. Okay, so I guess that's it. So let me go through these numbers, and then what I'm going to do here is I will pick a number. We will open that page in this book, and I will read the highlighted text from that page number. Because as I was reading these books, I highlighted the insightful paragraphs or any transformative exercises. Okay, so that's what we are going to do here. So let's see, which number am I feeling most called to amongst these? Jennifer loves it. Yeah, it is. It is so fun. When this idea struck me, I was like, this is such a fun way to receive wisdom. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Okay. So, not to be partial, but the number that I did felt called to was 89, and the number is by Jennifer. So, yeah, thank you, Jennifer, for choosing that number. It seems like the universe wanted to play this game with you, definitely. Jennifer says playing with the mistakes because they love to play. Yeah, definitely, Hmm. Because the more wise people eventually becomes like more fun, in their teachings and everything. So yeah, that is a factor there. Okay, so let's see what is on page number 89 for all of us. So, the heading for this chapter is Working with Attachments and Aversions. Emilia says, yes, Jennifer, I find it a fun way to stay connected with my intuition. Thank you, Emilia, for sharing that, because I have noticed that since I started doing this, which was the start of this year, my connection with my intuition has strengthened so very much. And that is why I ask you guys to pick a number as well, apart from the fun part. So, yeah, I'm so, so happy to hear that. And Jennifer says, the more we are open, we shall receive many blessings to all. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, going back to the reading, the name of the chapter is Working with Attachments and Aversions. So, the author says the challenge is that it is quite natural to become attached to things going our way or playing out according to our expectations. Unfortunately, the universe rarely cooperates with our personal agendas. A colleague of mine called expectations planned resentments. Even when things do appear to be going our way, how long will it last? The one thing we know for sure about life is that everything changes and nothing endures. Of course, it's hard to imagine living free of expectations, free of likes and dislikes. or what the mindfulness traditions or Buddhism as well calls attachments and aversions. We want more of pleasure and less of pain. We want to cling to the things that brings us pleasure and we want to avoid the things that bring us pain. So, have you noticed how much your moment to moment state of mind and behaviors are driven by your attachment to comfort and pleasure and your aversion to discomfort and pain? How often do you find yourself avoiding underlying discomfort, emotional issues, or even just boredom by mindlessly consuming addictive snacks or junk food, grabbing a smoke, reaching for another drink, or surfing the internet? How much time do you spend strategizing how to avoid uncomfortable or challenging social or professional situations? When we get caught in the what ifs and the future scenarios. How dependent have we all become on our air conditioned homes, offices, and cars? To say nothing of our smartphones and other digital devices. How quickly do we become upset when things are not going our way? When others appear to be following their own agendas at the expense of ours? So, so this is the problem that we are all caught up in, right? And Michael says, I have a natural aversion to attachments moment by moment. There is no need for external attachments. However, inner attachments can, I am powerless over removing. That's where I need my higher power, the bigger mover, the big mover living. Exactly. So, about so what I want to highlight from this comment is that firstly, yeah, the big mover, love that name as Amelia does. And second thing is that sometimes what happens is that instead of getting caught in this natural tendency of wanting more pleasure and avoiding pain, attachments and aversions, we think the opposite is to, you know, for example, with attachments, to get rid of all that stuff, that we want. And, so we think that the opposite is that. And with the internal things also, we think that, you know, the positive feelings or the negative feelings, we already didn't like the negative ones, but now that we have read about attachment, we feel like, okay, I don't like the positive ones as well. But instead of, you know, um, trying to do anything, instead of that, what if we allow that as it is to be there? Like if I'm having a pleasant feeling right now, that's it. Okay, I'm having that and I'm with that feeling. I'm taking in that feeling fully. I'm savoring it. I'm in it fully. I'm experiencing what this feels like right now. And same with the negative feelings. When I'm having that, I am with them fully. Instead of trying to get rid of them, I am with them and I'm here. And I do not need to do anything. I simply need to be with whatever is, whether it is something that I like or whether it is something that I don't like. Pav says, yes, can I just witness what is exactly? That is what I'm referring to, Pav. You know, simply witnessing it, whether it is something external or whether it is something internal. And Michael says, I have an image of a large yellow earth mover, and that's what I call the big mover. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not irrelevant. Again, you know, fill in whatever is coming up for you because it adds fun. It adds something that was needed in this space. So, yeah, just be you. No need to be sorry about anything. And, see how many people love that phrase of yours, Michael, the big mover. It's my higher power. I love it in my life. Love that. Thank you. Um, yeah, okay, going back to the reading, I feel it is not completed yet. So I do want to read about the solution that the author is offering. So that was my take, but there is something that the author might also want to say. Give me a second to figure that out. Um, Yeah, so the author says, so the author says the practice of mindfulness offers hope in this regard, what the issue we talked about. So exploring our attachment and aversions with mindfulness and self-compassion, we may find the key to loosening their often painful grip on our state of mind. Mindfully attending to our moment to moment experience allows us to feel and observe that impulsive urge to mindlessly reach for another potato chip, play another game on your phone, click the purchase button on your online shopping cart. So, mindfulness is the first step in developing the capacity and presence of mind to choose whether or not to go along with such an urge. So, so what the author is saying that um, when we were reading, the author actually highlighted the behaviors that we do because it becomes more tangible, it becomes more real in our life when we focus on the behaviors rather than just talking about the abstract concept of attachment and aversion. So, when we notice you know, when we first of all become aware of our patterns, that what do I do to cling on to that pleasure or avoid that pain, you know, like watching one more series, one more episode of that series, you want more pleasure, you want more, of whatever you are feeling. Or to avoid the pain, you go for a smoke, you go for, you know, scrolling on any social media app, right? So becoming aware of those behavioral tendencies and then applying mindfulness to it as well as compassion. So when you notice yourself engaging in those, you notice the urge developing, because there is always this urge, there's this feeling that, yeah, go for that another episode. Or, you sometimes not even realize it. You just go for your phone and you just open it and you find yourself opening, any social media app. I cannot name it, but yeah, you know, opening it and you are scrolling on it and you don't even realize that. So becoming aware is what mindfulness help you do. Bringing that pause, bringing that space, and then choosing, do I want to indulge this urge? Because you cannot, get over this attachment or aversion mentally or learning about the concepts, but doing it and applying it in your life. And that is how you apply it. Become aware of that urge and then choose, do I want to go for that or not? You know? And that is how you gain freedom from all these patterns. Okay, so we have some lovely comments, and I'm going to let me see. I'm going to go through these first, and then move on to the next reading maybe. So let's see. Oh, hi, Megan. Guys, Megan is another beautiful, wonderful teacher on Insight Timer. Like I love her work. She has, I think, some tracks around mindfulness, which I absolutely love. So, yeah, okay. Coming back to her comment, Megan says, allowing what is and marinating in emotions like joy and gratitude has been a transformational practice for me. Hmm. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that because we just talked about that, I think, before you entered, maybe, that neither the positive feelings are wrong nor the negative feelings are wrong. So it's just being with them and experiencing them. So if it is joy and gratitude, just soak it in. And if it is the unpleasant ones, then be there for them. So yeah, Megan continues, it's so easy to check the box and move on when celebratory things happen and not really feel the joy. And hello, Anisha and friends from Chicago. Okay, thank you, Megan, for sharing this, specifically emphasizing on the positive part because I too have this habit where I move on. When I did do something and I'm like, okay, what's the next thing? But now I have become like, okay, what did I just do? And I'm proud of myself for doing that because it took a lot of effort and it meant a lot for me. And so I deserve um, you know, the compliment, the pat on the back that I never got as a child, or that so many of us don't get, because we are more focused on what is going wrong rather than what we did right, what is going right. So, yeah, I love your share, Megan. And Amelia says, Michael, the name fits perfectly with what Anisha is saying about change. And the big mover is creates an image that is not stagnant, which is why I said it is such a great name. I love that, how you put it like, it is not stagnant. It is just like life, the first lines that we read, that it is ever changing. So I love the essence of it. Thank you, Amelia, for sharing that. Pav says, urge to do another live. Okay, so Pav, like you are also a teacher here, or yeah, or you're referring to something else. I would love to know if you are a teacher here, Pav. And or maybe some, yeah, no, just here. I cannot mention any other platform, but yeah. Okay, Michael says the big mover loves potato chips and works wonder in all our lives daily. Yeah. Okay, now I have an image in my head. And I love the works wonder part. I did a practice around that some time ago where I used to stop daily before I went to sleep and I asked myself that what magical thing happened today. And when I did that, I started noticing more of like magic in my life, more of wonder and just random beautiful things happening in my life. So yeah, maybe you guys can give that a try in case it resonated. Pav says, for me, it's learning to notice my urge with self compassion. Exactly. So, you know, um, thank you for bringing that up again because, as the author says, mindfulness with compassion, because that is an important component. Because what happens is, and a lot of you might relate if you are self aware. If you consider yourself that, then you are like, okay, I have this pattern, I know about it. Why do I keep on getting engaged in that again and again and again? It is so frustrating. And the reason is why is because you are bringing just awareness to it. And that awareness without the love, without the compassion is incomplete. There is like this word in Japanese. So basically, mindfulness in Japanese is known as heartfulness because awareness and kindness are intertwined. They cannot be on their own alone. So when we put both of them, then something magic and something transformational happens. Um, yeah, Michael says charity begins at home. Definitely. Um, Megan says, thank you for your kind words and connection, radiant friend. Yeah, loved having you here, Megan. Kathleen says, I am cuddling with my dog under blankets and listening to your voice and comments. It's such a stabilizing space. Thank you. Your comment shut me up in a good way. Like I felt like speechless and I just felt present and cozy as well. So yeah, thank you. It 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 means a lot that the space is doing that for you, Kathleen. Okay, Caitlin is also doing what Kathleen is. Okay, wonderful. And Pab loves the term heartfulness. Hmm. Me too. Me too. Okay. Hmm. Okay. I laughed a lot because of you guys. I'm like warm and my cheek is so like red. I'm not sure if you can see it. Okay. Now, before I read another comment and I get in another direction, I want to, share a resource here, in case you are either new to mindfulness or if you want to go deeper into mindfulness, and learn how to apply that with different tendency of yours, like what we talked about, attachment and aversion, So, as the author said, mindfulness is always the first step. You need the awareness to do anything at all, to apply any tool, to make any kind of change. So, my dear ones, in case you want to learn how to do that or become more mindful, present, aware in your life, then I have a course for you guys. And the name of the course is How to Live Mindfully. Simple as that. And I hope that, this will help you. This will give you a lot of tools for your daily life as well as for your practice itself, like your formal practice. So, in case you are interested in that, you can save this course. And one more resource that is related to this, and then I will jump to the comments again. So, the second course that I had for you, in case you want to feel more present in your life and actually really soak in the positive emotions like Megan mentioned, you be there for them so you notice them and savor them. Notice the wonder around you and everything and really just live, not just spend your days, but live. So if you want to experience that awe, that wonder, that peace, that beauty, then you can check out this course. And I'm sure you're going to love that. Okay. So going back to the comments, and then we will jump to the second reading. Only if you guys want to, not to cut you guys off. Okay. Yeah. So Cosmos says, hello Anisha, do you believe in law of attraction or manifestation? Do you read any particular book about it? Yeah, Cosmos. So we have we have a book around it, um, uh, in terms of attraction, of manifestation, and also like your subconscious mind as well. Because if we do not believe it in terms of energetics, then I do have like a book around it in terms of you know, if you were to look at it more logically, more psychologically, then how do we end up, uh manifesting or creating those results that maybe we want to or maybe we didn't, so explaining it in terms of more logical manner in terms of energetics and spiritual. So yeah, to answer your question, I do have some books around that. um Michael says Kathleen is with the big mover. Cosmos says yes, I'm new to mindfulness and also want to go deeper in it. then I'm glad that I did ended up sharing that resource with your Cosmos. And in case you do not have like the, premium plan or something of Insight Timer, and you just want to get started, then I do also have a playlist, which is like a 21-day mindfulness challenge, and it has all the free tracks. So if you want to get started, you can go with that and then move to the course, so it is um, more accessible for you. Okay, so now let's move on to the second reading. We had a lot of fun with this one. Okay, so let me take out the wheel again and reintroduce the wheel for the ones who just joined us. So, my dear ones, again, this is our wheel of wisdom. Okay, and this wheel contains the name of a lot of transformational books. And for the ones who just joined us, I invite you guys to take a moment and think about what would you like to receive guidance on today. Okay, and then hold that in your awareness as we will spin the wheel. So, holding that in your awareness and let the universe guide you. Okay, so the book that came up for us today is Peace is Every Step, The Path of Mindfulness in Everyday Life by Thich Nhat Hanh. So today a lot of like mindfulness and being present is coming up. And I guess since Amelia is here, Thich Nhat Hanh was meant to come up. It hasn't come up for the last, I guess, for the last many lives now. So, Amelia, you just, just attract all these books by him somehow. So, yeah. If anyone wants to learn about or witness manifestation happening, definitely, Amelia is the way. Okay. So now let me open this book and see what wants to come through. It may be related to mindfulness, or maybe, it might take us in some other direction. Let's see. And until I open the book, in case, you guys have gotten anything out of this, space, or if you guys found anything valuable, whether it was the meditation, the readings, or just the energy and chit chat, then you are welcome to, support me by making a donation only if you feel called to. There is no pressure at all. But yeah, know that in case you do decide to make a donation, every single contribution of yours is going to help me create more free resources, whether it is in terms of meditation or, a course or like, in terms of offering like a free session to those who need it. So yeah, everything goes towards that. Okay. Yeah, I was opening the book and then I will read the comments that came up. Okay, let me choose some numbers for the game. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Megan, for this kind gift. It really means a lot, especially coming from another teacher who also, is in this field and, have makes content on similar topics. So yeah. It means a lot. And thank you so much, Emilia, for, your generous donation. You don't know how much these support a lot of people, including me. So, yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, Meg. Thank you so much for this kind gift as well. I am honored to receive it. Thank you, guys. I am so touched that something from this live really resonated with you guys. Um, okay. Yeah, so I will go back to the comments in a second. But first, let me, share the instructions for the game so that you guys can play it until I read the comments. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you so much, dear. It makes me so, so happy to know that you are receiving some comfort from the space. So thank you for being here and for this, support. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was sharing the instructions. So the instructions for this game is I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between two numbers. Okay. I do not want you guys to rush. Take your time and choose a number that you are feeling called to. Share that in the comments. I will go through your numbers and pick a number that I am feeling most called to. Okay. So, my dear ones, the numbers between which I would like you guys to choose are 33 to 130. Okay. And thank you so much for all the hearts that kept on flowing. I guess since the start of this live, they encouraged me to continue speaking, and then they makes me feel like, okay, you know, you guys want to hear more. Thank you, Jennifer, Michael, Cosmos, Ranjit. Okay, let me go through the comment that came up before. Cosmos says, please share me that wheel website you're using. So yeah, the like the books are not on that website. It is just a website for, for having a wheel where you can put in anything and you can spin it. So yeah, um, I'm not sure if I can say it out loud or not here, but you will find it if you type something like, wheels of names on internet. Okay. Michael says, Teknath was a big mover, walk the walk and talk the talk. Buddha. Oh, I love your way of putting things, Michael. And yeah, especially walk the walk part because that is one of his very famous practices. Like walk as if you are kissing the earth. And it is such a beautiful practice, a concept. Um, yeah, so beautiful. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Pav. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Caitlin. Anyone else who would like to share a number can do so. I will stay quiet because you need to focus. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, so seems like everyone who wanted to share a number has done so. Okay, thank you, Meg. Um, thank you, Sarah. Okay, numbers are still coming in. Um, so maybe 2 more seconds until I fill my cup. Jennifer says, thank you, Anisha, for a lovely way to start them. I must run all of my love to everyone. Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer, for being here. It was so, so lovely having you here. And a lot of hugs, a tight hug to you as well. And since you're leaving, let me, share my next live here in case you want to, tune in again. I would love having you here again. Okay. So I guess all the numbers that wanted to come in have come in. So, yeah, let me go through them and pick a number that I'm feeling most called to. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is 46, and the number has been chosen by Kristen for all of us. Thank you, Kristen. Okay, let's see what wants to come through. 46. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, it is a very simple practice, and I guess it might leave us time for maybe another reading. So, the message for you, Kristen, and maybe, all of us here is the next time you see a red light, please smile at it and go back to your breathing. You can say as you breathe, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. So, very simple practice and an impactful one that can change the tone of your whole journey. So, yeah. So, I'm assuming, Kristen, that the next time you're going to see that red light, whether as a passenger or a driver, you try, you give this practice a try, and everyone present here, you give this practice a try. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. And that's it. There's a lot of science and neuroscience behind it and why it might work. But yeah, instead of me telling you about why it might work, give it a try. Because the experiential knowledge always, is so much more precious. Okay, I think Pav loves this practice, and so does a lot of people, assuming with the, from the hearts. And now let's do one more reading, okay? Let's, let's see what wants to come next. So, again, whatever it is that you need guidance on, hold that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, guys, there are about 50 books on this wheel, and this third book is also about mindfulness. And the name of this one is The Mindful Day by Laurie J. Cameron. So I promise you there are a lot of other topics here, okay? But the universe really, really wants us to be present, to just live our life instead of living it in our mind, live it here in the now, in the present moment. Okay, so let's see what wants to come from this one. hmm. mhm. The mindful day. So give me a second to choose a number, choose some numbers. Okay. So, my dear ones, Debbie is quick. Okay, thank you for the excitement. Now the instructions for everyone here is I'm going to share with you guys two numbers between which I want you guys to choose. And again, no rush. Pick a number that you're feeling called to, share that in the comments. I will pick a number randomly based on my intuition, okay? So let's tap into this collective wisdom and choose a number between 28 to 180. Luckily, your number do fall between that, Tappy. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, feel free to drop in a number that you guys are feeling called to. Thank you, Michael, Peace, Pav, Amelia, Caitlin, Ranjit. Thank you, Sarah. Anyone else who would like to pick a number? Okay. Then let's go through these numbers and pick one that I'm feeling most called to. Okay. Thank you, Joanne and Misha. Okay, let me consider your numbers as well then. So, the number that I am feeling most called to is 58, and the number has been chosen by Caitlin for all of us. Yay, Caitlin. Okay, let's see what wants to come through page number 58. Hmm. So, the heading for this is Create a Morning Routine. So, there is a quote which says, if I do not practice one day, I notice it. If I do not practice a second day, the orchestra notices it. If I do not practice a third day, the world notices it. This quote has been given by Ignacy Jan Paderewski, pianist and composer. Sorry if I butchered the name, but again, reading the quote again. Now that you know the context that he or she or them is a pianist or composer. So if I do not practice one day, I notice it. If I do not practice a second day, the orchestra notices it. If I do not practice a third day, the world notices it. So, the sharing my experience, when I notice that I do not do any of these practices, the healthy practices that I have in my routine, then I notice it. I notice that day that my energy is different, my body is feeling different. For example, when I don't do yoga, I'm feeling more scattered when I do not practice, a meditation. I'm not feeling as present. I'm not feeling as present with the things, with the life, with this around me. So that is the effect that I have on on the first time. And when your routine actually impacts, uh, sorry, so when your routine impacts your work, then, or even your relationships, so when you do not do that thing that helps you stay anchored, that helps you be your best version, that helps you feel more regulated, more calm, then eventually maybe you would not notice it at the first day. Maybe others might notice it at the first day, but the more you skip it, the more you will witness the effects. And another thing is popping into my head, which is that, when we are trying to cultivate any healthy habit, what happens is that something happens and we are not able to do that particular thing that particular day because of something happening, and it disrupting our routine. And then some of us goes like, okay, I just broke my record, you know and I just had this long streak going on and I just broke it. And we go into all or nothing and we are like, okay, let's just give up. I'm not never going to be consistent. But the thing is, consistency do not mean that we do that thing every single day, but it means that. And it is a very unrealistic standard as well to do that thing every single day. Instead, at that moment, what might be helpful, if you are currently maybe going, trying to cultivate any habit, then expect that you are going to have days when you're not going to follow through, when external things are going to make an impact on your morning routine and they're going to mess it up. And that's okay, you know, because that is natural. Once you expect that, then when it happens, it do not take you aback. Instead, you might even, plan for it that, okay, if I do not do it for one day, then that's okay. I will do it another day. And if I, um, a lot of things are popping in my head right now. But it brought me to another thing that I read, another research that I read, which is that if you do not do one habit or one thing for a particular day, then that's okay. Okay, the chances of you doing it again are like more like 90% or something that you will do it again. But if you do not do that habit that you're trying to cultivate for 2 days consequently, s- um consequently, or like the next day, you get it right. So today and tomorrow. So if you don't do it in 2 days in a row, then your chances of doing it again decreases a lot. So if you miss a day, that's okay. Try to do that thing the next day. Do not try to miss 2 days in a row. And even if you do, again, even if there is something big going on in your life, that's okay. So instead of giving it all up, even if you didn't did it for a week or 2 week, okay, then also instead of giving it up all on, like, okay, I can't, uh, I'm not a consistent person, or attaching your or those labels to yourself. Whenever you remember it, whenever your life starts to get back on track, you know try to pick it up again and do it. And even in those moments, what happens is that when we give up on those things, when life is bringing mess, you know a lot of things in our life, then instead of giving on those practices, especially the ones that really helps you stay centered, decrease the time for them. So if you do yoga and your morning routine is a hassle because some relatives are visiting you, or you are at someone else's place because there might be festive time. I think tomorrow is Thanksgiving, I think. And then Christmas is also coming for a lot of you guys. So when you are in this festive mode, your routine gets messed up, right? So at that point, if you do yoga, for example, 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 40 minutes or an hour, try to do it for just 5 minutes. Or even just, as you wake up, just stretch. So decrease that to the smallest version of it and do it instead of cutting it out from your life. And you will notice that it that slightest of practice still has an impact on you. Okay. Yeah, so I feel complete. Like I didn't really read from this, but I felt like this is the quote that wanted to come through. So let me repeat this quote again. If I do not practice one day, I notice it. If I do not practice a second day, the orchestra notices it. If I do not practice a third day, the world notices it. Yeah, there's a lot apart from it, but I'm not feeling called to read that for some reason. So let me know whatever I blabbered if it resonated with you, you know, if if it motivated you in some manner to keep going or to start something, or it gave you a solution to what you were worried about or what you're going through. s- Anything that is coming up for you, feel free to share that in the comments. Oh, I love that, Amber, how you put that. To practice is to touch the world. Oh my god, that is such that is such depth. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it, love it. There are no words to tell you how I love it. There's this feeling of expansiveness. Yeah, we are one. Thank you, Amber, for sharing that. I love that. Pap says resonated very much. Thank you, Pap, for sharing that. Appreciate it. When you guys share whether it resonated or not, it helps me trust my intuition even more that yeah, I am being guided and I can guide others in the right direction. And I can trust that inner wisdom. So Caitlin says, yes, resonated with messages I have been getting. Remember moments of self care and to keep practicing. Exactly. Okay, so you have been getting messages around that, Caitlin. So definitely, do not give up on the self care because that is what gives you the capacity, the, whatever it is that you need to cope with everything else. Because that is the very thing that we first drop when something happens. And that is the thing that we need most at those moments. Kathleen says, yes, my morning routine. I will get back into it today. Thank you for the reminder. I love that. This reading helped you focus more on that. Kristen says, even when I don't feel well, I just try to meditate for a few minutes. Even a few minutes help. Exactly. Thank you, Kristen, for sharing that experience of yours. You know, and it is really helpful to remember that we do not need to do it again. We do not need to get tangled in that all or nothing that either I will do the whole 20, 30, 1 hour minutes of meditation, exercise, walking, whatever it is that you do, or I will do nothing. So just find a miniature version of that and do that, and it will help, like it helps Kristen. Okay. I had so much fun in this live today. But I guess it is time to start wrapping this up. So, my dear ones, um, I do have a few things to share with you guys, and it would take around 7 to 10 minutes. But which is why I have like two different endings of my lives. The first one is for the ones who are regular here, who have been here before, who knows what I'm going to say next. So if you are one of those people, and if you would like to, bid goodbye because you have something to do, then you can, say goodbye or, you know, and you can RSVP for the next session because I would love to have you there again. And if you belong to the second group, I would request you to stay for like 5 to 10 minutes, please, because I would like to share some resources that I've created for you guys. Okay, let's see. Caitlin says, keep me full so I can fulfill my potential. Love that. Okay. Love how you guys are playing with words today. Peace says hugs. Oh, a hug to you, Peace, as well. And Kathleen says, bye, Anisha. I'm ready to start my day with a renewed spirit and enthusiasm. Oh, I love that. I hope that you have a wonderful day, Kathleen. Emilia says, thank you for sharing your light, Anisha. My heart is full that I was able to join again. Oh, I missed you too, Emilia, as well, you know. So yeah, I am super, super happy that you are here today. And I hope that I would get to see more of you. I know that winters are approaching, so it is like quite early for a lot of people. Yeah, and I did try shifting it a little bit, 30 minutes later, but yeah, it wasn't working that well. But yeah, maybe I will try to mix it up in between so yeah, everyone can attend. But yeah, anyways, loved having you, Emilia. And Tepi says thank you. Thank you, Tepi, for staying till the end. I'm glad that, you stayed and you were resonating with the space. VC is grateful for you, Anisha, and the session. So am I to have you, V. Um, Kristen says, thank you for reminding me to smile more. Oh, yeah, that red light is going to be that reminder for you, Kristen. So yeah, smile more. It looks beautiful on all of us. Pieces, thank you so much. You're so welcome, Peace. Okay, so now let me talk to the ones who are here for the very first time or who don't know about all the things that I offer. Okay, so my dear ones, first things first, I wanted to first share with you guys in case you guys joined this live late or you missed the starting meditation. Then, in that case, let me, show you guys where you can find this live if you want to, watch it again. So, my dear ones, where you can find it is you can go to my profile, okay, go to the about section and scroll all the way down. And here you will at the bottom you will find a way to watch not only this live, which is episode 140, but also all the previous lives in the series of Wheel of Wisdom. Okay. And in case you do not want to watch the whole video and you just need the summary of the readings that we did here today, then in that case, where you can find that summary is Sarah says, how do I get to your profile? Sarah, so my profile is on Inside Timer. You can follow me right now. I have put on the card and you will see it in your teachers, or you can search for my name, okay, which is Anisha Maheshwari. So you can search for it in the search box on Inside Timer and go to teachers section. Okay, there you will also find it. So yeah. So about the summary, you can go to my profile. This is something that opens when you click on my profile. You will see the home section that opens. So scroll all the way down, okay? And at the bottom of my profile, you will see a teachers group here. So the name of it is Wonderful Beings. And we have over like 110 wonderful beings here. So what I do here is after each live within 5 or 10 minutes, I share a summary of the live, including the type of meditation that we did, the name of the books that we read, and the exact readings. So you don't miss out on anything. I also put in some updates there, like if a new track is, gets released or if I have to cancel a live, so I share the reason as well there. So it is, a way to stay connected and updated about what is happening in my world. Okay. So this is the first thing that I wanted to share. The second thing that I wanted to share with you guys is the three places where you can find all of my resources in one place. Okay. So the first place where you can find all the things that I offer is just above this group that I shared with you guys. You will see a playlist section. Okay. So here I've organized all of my tracks into these four playlists. Mhm. So you can, check them out and see which one is what you need right now. So, the one that I mentioned before about our mindfulness challenge, including all the free tracks, so that is this one. Then there's the second one, which includes nervous system regulation techniques. Okay. Then there's this third one, which is about negative thoughts and, limiting beliefs that people commonly have. So it will help you, shift your mindset and feel better. And this is the final one, which is Wheel of Wisdom Pick a Meditation. So this is like a game, a continued version of this live, and you can play the game and let your intuition guide you and also strengthen your connection with your inner wisdom. So, this is the first place where you can find all of my resources. The second place where you can find them is the courses section. Okay. So, on my profile here, just nearby the home section, you will see something like a courses. So, here you will find all of my 7 courses. Okay. So you can go through them and see which ones is that you need right now. I have courses around accepting a difficult situation, processing it, moving on from it. I have around negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and how to be more present, mindful in your life, how to, you know, find the beauty and awe that is present right here, the peace that is right here, how to access it, and how to stop chasing and start living your life. So, like, these are some of the topics that I have courses on. You can check them out and explore them on your own. I just, mentioned it in case, so you know what I offer. And now, the third place and the final place where you will find all of my offerings. So, if you do not find anything in my playlist or the courses section, that you need right now that you're looking for, or if you need more personalized guidance or support, then the third place where you will find that is again, you can go to my profile, go to the About section there, scroll down. At the bottom, you will see this. So, here you will find a way if you want to work one on one with me. So, you will find a way to do that here as well. And you will find some more, surprise gifts that I have for you here. And like more about my journey. So what I am, what I do, and what I went through and everything. So yeah, you can find, you know, all of those things here. So this is so yeah, these are all the 3 places where you will find all of my offerings. And yeah, I guess that's it. That's it. That's the things that I wanted to share with you guys. So thank you so much for listening to me so patiently. And yeah, and feel free to check out any of those that resonated with you, or just give it a look and see if anything resonates with you, if that is the thing that you need right now. So that's it for this live. I bow down to the divine within you all, and I will see you guys day after tomorrow in my next live. And I hope, Sarah, that you found my profile. Um, Let me know if you have any problem. Okay, be safe. Thank you for sharing. You're so welcome. Loved having you. Namaste, Amelia. Thank you for staying, till the end. Okay, guys. So, bye.